Hi, I'm Jason Culp. I'm an application engineer here at NOAR Technologies. During these difficult times, we're trying to figure out how to work from home, collaborate between our customers and our coworkers. So here I'm going to show you a quick little rundown. Normally we would have a survey that we would go out and collect in the field first, right? So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to steal a surface and some alignments from InfraWorks. And so first I want to know where it's located. So I hover over my icon, it gives me the file path to where I've got to go open up my model. Once I go back into Civil 3D, I go ahead and I open up my settings and I set up my coordinate system. Now my coordinate system will align with everything that I bring in. Now I can go ahead and open up my model from InfraWorks. We'll just skip through this here real quick. I can refine my search and just grab my surfaces that I want and my alignment. Once all that's come in, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut off my map right now just to kind of make things a little more clear. Now we know where it's located. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to throw an outline in here and I'm going to cut my surface down a little bit more so that my coworker has a chance to work on it a little cleaner. So we'll go ahead and we'll add that border to our surface and we'll cut our surface down. So now my coworker has an alignment, he has a surface, and a direction of roads that it needs to connect to. Now, when I brought this in from InfraWorks, I brought in these polylines. I don't need these polylines anymore because we're creating a new road in here. I'm going to go ahead and delete those and just leave the alignment that we have in there. Now, we can go ahead and save that. Now, when we're working with BIM, saving it to BIM is exactly like saving it to any other job file. So I have a shortcut here in my BIM folder. It already has a couple of projects in there that I've worked on. We'll go ahead and name this alleyway. Save. Now that's gone up to our cloud now, or it's actually working on saving to our cloud right now. So now what we can do is we can go back to our online BIM360. We can go into the file that we just saved that from our local desktop. In here you can see the Comerica Park and Thistle Road that we already had in the other one, and here's our alleyway drawing. Now you can see this is going to give you every sheet that's included. Let's just take a look at the 3D view here. So now a 3D view, you can work with it just like you can in Civil 3D, twist it around, take a look at it, whatever you need to do. So now this project's ready to go to my coworker to have him go through and of course design the road. So let's move on to my coworker Tyler's portion of this project. He's going to be instating a corridor in the project that I've already started with the surface and the different information that I brought in from InfraWorks. So you can see that he's got his design model folder that's up in the BIM cloud. He has a shortcut placed in there for it. He's going to go ahead and open up the alley drawing. Now this drawing is the one that we already saved that has all the information, surface, alignment. He's going to go ahead and create a corridor from this. So first he'll go up and create a corridor just as you normally would with any other project that's in Civil 3D. He'll name it. He's got an alignment. He's got a profile. And he needs an assembly. So now we're just going to go ahead and select an assembly in here. We'll select the one that we have. We'll say new road. Target surface is going to be our existing transportation surface, and then we won't go ahead and set our baseline and region parameters for right now. We'll go ahead and close this out, and now you can see that our corridor has been created. So now that all of this has been created, we're ready to move on to BIM and check and make sure that everything came in okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my portion of BIM at this time. So now that we're in my BIM platform, you can see that we're in our road projects folder. And if we go into our design models, which was his shortcut, we can see that our alleyway is locked, okay? So now we can go in and we can see our 3D view of our alleyway, but it's not going to look any different because if you look at the very top, it says V4 and it has an exclamation point after it. That means that it has an update, but it hasn't shown us the update yet. So if we go ahead and spin this road around, we can see that we have our surface, we have our InfraWorks stuff that we brought in for the other roads, but we don't have our road that Tyler just designed. So now what we want to do is we want to go back into our main homepage, and we want to go and select our drawing. And you can see we have a lock next to it here. So we'll select this, we'll go and we'll say unlock. We see that we have version V5 to the right there. And now we're showing V5 at the top of this page. So now if we go back into our 3D view, we should be able to rotate this around, and now we can see that we have our road So now that this is complete, this is able to be moved on to our next design platform that will be done by Chad. So Chad will be doing that. So Chad will be completing his end of the project via our Clausen office. So once he starts out, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to go into the BIM and open up his model. Now this is the same model that I've worked on, that Tyler's worked on. We're just taking it over from Tyler's point now, where he's already created our corridor with our grading. So the first thing that Chad's going to want to do to be able to have the pipe network flow correctly is to go ahead and create a surface for the corridor. He'll go through and add that surface for the top links, and then he'll go ahead and add a boundary with the corridor outer extenses boundary. Go ahead and rebuild that corridor. Once he has that in place, for simplicity reasons, what he's going to do is he's going to go in and he's going to shut these other surfaces off. Just make sure everything's clear, and that way the only thing visible is our corridor surface. So he's got to turn his tool space on here, go into his surfaces, and check each one. The first surface here, he'll go ahead and set that to a 1 to 5 contour. And then for the other ones, we'll go ahead and shut them off. That one's already off. And then go ahead and shut this one off to no display. Okay. Now that he's done that, you can see that we only have our main surface that follows our corridor. So now the next step is to go ahead and create a pipe network. Now we've all created pipe networks before, so we know how this works out. So let's go ahead and name it. And in the spirit of things, let's just go with the new road name. We'll go to storm sewer. And then we want to put our surface name in, which is our corridor surface, alignment name, and then our labels, we're just going to do a name only. Now, he's going to go through and he's going to lay out some rectangular junction structures with 12-inch pipe. Now, we're not going to get real crazy on location and everything with this because of the fact that it's just a demo to show you about the BIM, but he'll just lay them out alongside the road here, like you would any normal drainage system, and then maybe one across the road to pick up a low point. Now that those are all in place, let's go ahead and select a structure, a pipe, and the corridor. And let's see if everything is working together. So we'll look at that in Object Viewer. Spin it around here. And as you can see, his layouts worked. We can see our pipe down below there. And all of our structures in the road. So let's go ahead and escape out of that. Close this out and go ahead and save it. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go back to my BIM page and I'm going to open up my portal and see what kind of changes Chad's made to the program. So I'll go into my design model, my alleyway drawing. I can see it's on version 6 now. It was on version 5 before. We can see it's locked by Chad because he saved it. So we'll go ahead and go into our alley drawing. We'll look at a 3D view. Spin it around, and at first glance here, if you zoom in, you can see that the structures are in the roads here. So what I want to do is make it so that somebody else can edit this later on. So let's go ahead and go back in here and unlock this. I'm going to check it off, unlock it. You can say one document was unlocked. Now we can go back into the 3D view again. And let's go ahead and twist this around and we can see our pipes underneath and our structures as well. So working with BIM is pretty user-friendly when it comes to collaborating between you and your coworkers. If you have any questions regarding BIM or any type of Autodesk software, go ahead and contact us and we'd be more than happy to help you out.